Divine feminine, this energy feels so alive. You know when you can just feel that your life is about to change? That's the vibe coming through here. Spirit is saying this next phase of your journey isn't about chasing, proving, or waiting anymore. It's about receiving. You're stepping into what I can only describe as your goddess frequency. And what that means is simple but powerful. You're about to remember how divine, magnetic, and worthy you truly are. So as we step into this reading, I want you to take a deep breath and say this out loud. I am the goddess. I am the flow. I am the frequency. Because that's exactly what this message is about. Returning to your divine essence and realizing that the life you've been dreaming of is already aligning with the version of you who knows her worth, protects her peace, and radiates love without apology. Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm glad to have you home. I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that you're here, because the energy that's already coming through feels powerful. And I can tell this message is meant for someone who truly needs it today. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. If you feel called to go deeper, the extended readings and extra guidance are always available on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we get into the longer, more personal layers of these messages. And it's a beautiful space to connect on a deeper level. And while you're here, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video, leaving a comment below, and sharing this reading with someone who may need to hear it. Your energy in this community makes such a difference, and I love reading your thoughts and reflections. Now let's go ahead and shuffle the deck together. Spirit, we ask you to guide us in this moment, to bring through the clearest and most aligned messages for those listening. As I set the energy for this reading, I can already feel the cards beginning to stir, and I know something important is ready to come through. I just pulled the Fool, Divine Feminine. The Fool shows up when your soul is standing at the edge of something brand new, a doorway into the unknown. Spirit says you've reached a point in your journey where nothing outside of you can define who you are anymore. You've outgrown the roles, the labels, the expectations, and now you're being called back to your essence, to the pure, limitless version of yourself that existed before the world told you who to be. The energy around you right now is rare, sacred, and deeply transformative. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been beneath it all. Spirit is saying you've entered what's called the 0 point, the void where all creation begins. It can feel like floating between worlds, where old things no longer fit, but the new hasn't fully taken shape yet. You might feel disconnected, misunderstood, or even invisible right now, but that's because you're no longer meant to fit into the old world. This part of your journey is yours alone. No one can walk it for you. The Fool is the moment before the leap, the quiet breath before the transformation. It's when your higher self steps forward and whispers, "It's time to trust yourself completely." You may notice signs all around you, dreams that feel real, repeating numbers, your birth date showing up, or symbols that only you understand. That's not coincidence. It's your higher self communicating with you. You're not being guided by external forces anymore. You're being guided by your own divine wisdom. This is why your intuition feels stronger than ever. You might sense energy before it even happens, or feel a presence that's both familiar and new. Spirit says what you're feeling isn't something coming toward you, it's you meeting you. The version of yourself that already exists in your highest timeline is calling you home. And yes, this process can feel like being stripped bare, because it's meant to. You're shedding everything that isn't truly yours. The titles, the labels, the expectations, the false stories you've carried. It's uncomfortable, but it's sacred, because once those layers fall away, what remains is your essence, your truth, your light, your purest form. The Fool reminds you that this emptiness you feel isn't loss, it's space. Space for miracles, new beginnings, and a version of you that doesn't just survive. She soars. Spirit is saying, this is your reset, your soul's clean slate. Nothing from the past can follow you unless you choose to carry it. The people, the versions of yourself, the old beliefs, they've served their purpose. Now it's time to travel lighter. The Fool's energy is about surrendering control and trusting the flow of where Spirit is leading you next. You don't need to have every answer right now. You just need to take the first step. The path will reveal itself one move at a time. And as long as you're walking in faith, you're exactly where you're meant to be. You might feel like things around you are breaking apart, but what's really happening is alignment. Spirit is rearranging your world so that it reflects who you are becoming. The situations, the connections, and even the emotions that are fading away aren't being taken from you. They're being replaced by something far greater. The Fool's presence means divine timing is at play. Spirit says the things that feel uncertain now will soon make perfect sense, because this new chapter isn't just about growth, it's about freedom. The kind of freedom that comes from living in truth, not fear. And here's the most beautiful part. You're not alone in this leap. Your higher self, your guides, your ancestors are all standing beside you, lighting the path with every intuitive nudge and every quiet whisper that says, keep going. The Fool energy invites you to move forward with an open heart, curious, brave, and ready to receive the blessings waiting beyond the unknown. You are stepping into a new vibration where miracles feel natural, where joy feels effortless, and where faith becomes your foundation. This isn't the end of your story. It's the moment your story truly begins. So, Divine Feminine, Spirit says take a deep breath and step forward with trust. You're not falling, you're flying into the next chapter of your soul's evolution. Everything you've been through has brought you here, to this exact moment of awakening. You're not waiting for something outside to change. You are the change. The Fool reminds you, every ending is just a beginning disguised as silence. And right now, you are standing at the edge of a brand new world, one that you are about to create. The next card I just pulled is the Tower. The Spirit is saying this is the massive shift your soul has been preparing for. The Tower appears when everything that no longer serves your higher self begins to fall away. Not to punish you, but to clear the path for something powerful and divinely meant for you. Spirit says there's a blessing, an inheritance, a spiritual gift that's been waiting for you, something your ancestors left behind in the higher realms. But here's the thing. It can't reach you if you're still carrying layers of old energy, old stories, and old versions of yourself. You're not being stripped, you're being freed. What's falling away now is only what's blocking your abundance from flowing in. Spirit says this next chapter isn't about loss, it's about release. You've been asking for change, and now the universe is making room for it. Every shift you're feeling, the restlessness, the vivid dreams, the sudden emotions, it's all part of the energetic purge. The tower doesn't crumble to destroy, it crumbles to rebuild something stronger, truer, and aligned with your soul's purpose. Spirit says you're not losing yourself. You're meeting the version of you that already knows how to handle what's coming. And what's coming? Massive incoming, abundance, clarity, alignment, all of it. But to receive it, you have to open the funnel, clear the channel between your spiritual and physical self. That's why you might feel this strange pull to declutter, to rest more, to cut ties with old habits or connections that feel heavy. That's your higher self clearing the path. Spirit says the energy you're stepping into is pure flow. Once your aura is clear, everything meant for you will find you with ease. Your ancestors are deeply involved in this shift. They've been preparing this moment long before you even arrived in this lifetime. The opportunities, the people, the divine encounters heading your way, they're all part of this inheritance. You're not just stepping into abundance, you're activating it. But first, the old foundation has to crumble. That's the tower's purpose, to remove what's false so the truth can stand. Spirit is saying the reason everything feels so intense right now is because you're standing in the middle of transformation, not on the edge of it. The energy you're feeling isn't warning you of something falling apart. It's announcing your breakthrough. You've already outgrown the life that once felt comfortable, and that's why nothing around you seems to fit anymore. The tower is that exact moment when the universe says, it's time. It's time to rise higher, to expand, to finally stop dimming your light to fit spaces you've already outgrown. What's happening isn't chaos. It's divine alignment disguised as change. You might notice relationships shifting, environments feeling too small, or routines no longer serving you. That's Spirit's way of clearing your path, so when the new arrives, you're ready to receive it fully. This process isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to liberate you. Spirit says your comfort zone has reached its limit, and that's why the pressure feels heavier than usual. But this is not punishment, it's preparation. Every ending right now is a divine reroute to something that holds far more peace, purpose, and prosperity than you can imagine. And here's what's really beautiful. Once you surrender, everything starts to flow again. The tower teaches surrender through trust. Spirit wants you to release the need to control how things unfold, because your higher self already knows where you're going. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. You just have to stay open to receive it. The more you unclench, the more abundance rushes in. The storm you're facing now is actually clearing the air, washing away anything that once kept you small. When the sky clears, what's left will be everything you've prayed for. But this time, it'll feel stable, real, and aligned with the person you've become. So, Divine Feminine, Spirit says, don't fear the shakeup, embrace it. You're not being broken, you're being rebuilt into the version of yourself who can finally hold everything you've prayed for. The tower reminds you that divine change always feels chaotic before it feels clear. But once the dust settles, you'll see that nothing was lost, only replaced with something greater. What's meant for you is already on its way. Make space. The floodgates are about to open. Moving forward, I just pulled the star, and Divine Feminine Spirit is saying, this is your healing era. The star shows up when the soul has walked through fire and finally reached the moment of renewal. That quiet, sacred space after the storm where you begin to remember your light again. Spirit says you've carried so much for so long that even your reflection started to echo the pain of your past. You've been defining yourself by what you've survived, not realizing that the very strength that kept you alive is now the same power that's meant to help you rise. You are not a baby soul. You are an ancient one. You've lived through lifetimes of lessons, pain, and transformation. And now, it's time to let go of the guilt that comes with surviving. You didn't just make it through for yourself. You made it through to guide others by example. Spirit says you've been carrying survivor's guilt without realizing it. Every time you minimize your progress or question your worth, that's guilt whispering that you're not allowed to outgrow your past. But the star wants to remind you, you are not your wounds. You are the light that shines through them. You don't have to shrink or apologize for your healing. It's not pride to rise. It's purpose. You may be in hermit mode right now, quiet, distant, or uninterested in the noise of the outside world. That's because Spirit is pulling you into deep restoration. The world has told you who you are for too long. But this next season is about remembering who you are without the labels, the projections, and the expectations. The star energy is pure alignment, where your soul, mind, and heart finally meet in truth. Spirit says, you've done the hard part. Now let the healing take over. Your dreams, your body, even your appetite, all of it is recalibrating because you're not the same. You're rejecting what's heavy, what's false, and what doesn't resonate with your new vibration. This is your rebirth, Divine Feminine. The star asks you to release the identity of a survivor and embrace the truth of a thriver. You are not here to simply endure. You are here to inspire. Spirit says your light is medicine, and your story is no longer about pain, but about power. So, if you've been seeing signs, feeling your emotions intensify, or sensing something shifting within, this is your renewal. The star is your confirmation that healing is happening in layers, and it's okay to rest while it unfolds. You are not falling apart. You are being remade. Spirit says, your light was never gone. It was just waiting for you to see it again. Before we pull the next card, I just want to pause for a moment and check in with you. How has this been resonating with you so far? If something in these first 3 cards has already spoken to your heart, let me know in the comments. I love reading how these messages meet you right where you are. All right, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us as we pull the next card. I just pulled the Empress. The Empress appears when it's time to stop shrinking and start owning who you are. Spirit says you've been walking around like a spiritual giant on your knees, forgetting just how much light, wisdom, and strength you truly carry. You've survived things that would have broken most people, yet you still wake up, still give, still love, still create. That's power. But somewhere along the way, you started believing that your softness made you small, when really, it's what makes you divine. The empress reminds you that your presence isn't too much. It's medicine. You're not meant to blend in. You're meant to walk in a room and shift the energy just by being there. Spirit says this is the moment your higher self is helping you reframe how you see yourself. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're simply being reminded of who you've always been: a creator, a nurturer, a powerhouse of spiritual energy. The Empress doesn't chase, she attracts. And that's exactly what Spirit is teaching you now: to pull your energy back from everything and everyone that's been draining you. Every piece of you that you've given away: your love, your creativity, your sensuality, your confidence. It's time to call it home. Speak it out loud if you have to. I call all my power back to me, cleansed, whole, and filled with love. Spirit also says this process might feel emotional, especially around the sacral chakra, the center of your creativity and life force. You might feel waves of sadness or guilt come up as you begin to release what's not yours. But that's the healing happening. You're clearing space for joy, inspiration, and creation to return. Spirit says, journal it out, cry it out, dance it out, whatever helps you move that energy through. Because once that heaviness leaves your body, what replaces it will feel like freedom. Spirit says when you start calling your power back, everything around you begins to respond. The people, opportunities, and even the energy in your home will shift to match your frequency. You'll notice doors opening where there used to be walls, because your energy is no longer scattered. It's centered. And when your energy is centered, your manifestations move faster. The Empress doesn't beg for alignment. She simply embodies it. You don't have to prove your worthiness anymore. Your existence is the proof. The universe is waiting for you to realize that your power was never lost. It was only misplaced in the places you gave too much of yourself away. Spirit is also saying that when you call your power back, you call back your confidence, your sensuality, your creativity, all the parts of you that once felt too much for the world. The Empress energy celebrates those parts. It's the gentle reminder that your softness and your strength are not opposites. They are one and the same. So if you've been feeling disconnected from your creativity or unsure of what's next, this is your sign that the spark is returning. You're going to feel inspired again. You're going to feel beautiful again. You're going to feel alive again. And Divine Feminine, remember this: your power is not loud, it's magnetic. You don't have to force anyone to see your value. When you're in your Empress energy, the right people just know. They feel it. Your presence speaks for you. So keep choosing peace over proving, alignment over approval, and authenticity over performance. Spirit says your throne has been waiting. And now that you're standing in your full power, it's time to sit in it with grace, confidence, and love. Because this time, you're not just calling your power back, you're embodying it. This is your rebirth, Divine Feminine. You're not stepping into your power, you're remembering it. The Empress energy is already within you, waiting to be claimed. Spirit says stop apologizing for your light, your voice, your desires. You've earned the right to take up space, beautifully, boldly, unapologetically. This is your season to rise, to create, to love yourself back into fullness. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and call it all back. Every ounce of energy that was ever yours. Because this time, you're not just surviving, you're becoming. Moving forward, I just pulled the sun. This is so clear that you are the proof. The sun shows up when your light can no longer be hidden, when everything you've walked through begins to shine as living evidence of grace, strength, and divine timing. Spirit says your life itself is a testimony. You are proof that healing is real, that faith works, and that love always wins. Whether people understand you or not, whether they cheer for you or question you, your story speaks. You've turned pain into purpose, confusion into clarity, and heartbreak into wisdom. You didn't just survive the darkness. You became the light that shows others the way out. Spirit says this is why everything had to happen exactly the way it did. You were being refined, not punished. The sun energy represents divine illumination, the moment when everything that once felt confusing starts to make sense. You're realizing that you didn't need validation, applause, or approval to prove your worth. Your existence is the evidence. The way you rise after every setback, the way you still choose love after betrayal, the way you keep showing up when no one's watching, that's divine power in motion. That's why Spirit calls you a spiritual giant. You are not here to play small, divine feminine. You are here to lead, to inspire, and to remind people that miracles still happen through ordinary lives. The sun reminds you that every version of your highest self already exists within you, the one who is healthy, peaceful, and deeply loved. You don't have to chase her. You simply align with her. Sit with yourself, breathe, and feel that energy. That version of you isn't in the future. She's right here, waiting for you to see her clearly. Spirit says your light has reached a point where it can't be dimmed anymore. Not by doubt, not by fear, and not by the opinions of others. You've stepped into a new level of awareness where your energy speaks louder than your words. The sun shines through you now, not because everything is perfect, but because you've allowed your authenticity to become your glow. Every scar, every tear, every lesson you've learned, they've all become rays of light radiating from your soul. You're no longer hiding the parts of you that once felt too broken. You're embracing them, and in doing so, you're becoming whole. Spirit wants you to know that your journey was never just about you. It's about everyone who will be guided by your example. Every time you rise, you light a path for someone else who thought they couldn't. Every time you forgive, you remind others that peace is possible. Every time you choose to love again, you teach the world that hope is still alive. The sun's energy doesn't just warm your world, it reaches others who have been walking in the cold. That's your impact, that's your calling. And now, Divine Feminine, Spirit says it's time to live fully in your light. No more playing small, no more second-guessing your magic. The sun asks you to walk with confidence, to create boldly, to laugh freely, and to love without fear. You are no longer healing, you are healed. You are no longer searching, you are found. And as you continue to shine, remember this: the light you carry is not borrowed, it was always yours. And Spirit says this: you are being used as a divine example. People may never tell you this, but your strength has been their silent permission to keep going. So stop questioning if you're enough or if you're doing it right. You are walking proof that faith works. When others look at you, they see what resilience, grace, and divine favor look like in human form. You are not a lesson, you are the evidence. For our final card, I just pulled the Queen of Cups and Divine Feminine. Spirit is saying, this is your goddess frequency awakening. The Queen of Cups appears when you're being guided to return home to yourself, to fill your own cup first, to nurture your soul, and to let softness become your strength again. Spirit says the key to your next level isn't about doing more. It's about being more present with yourself. This next chapter is not about proving your worth. It's about honoring your essence, the abundance, the peace, the love you've been waiting for. It's already waiting for you to slow down, breathe, and receive it. This is where you rise into the goddess frequency, where self-care turns into self-devotion. Spirit says your feminine energy, your yin, is your power source. It's what allows blessings to flow to you instead of you constantly chasing them. Every act of care, taking a deep breath before you start your day, making your morning tea with intention, resting when your body asks for it, is a sacred ritual. These small, loving moments are how you clear the energetic channel that connects you to the divine. When you choose yourself, you open that funnel for abundance, creativity, and healing to pour in. Spirit says your daily devotion to yourself is your manifestation practice. This is about falling in love with your own rhythm again. Let yourself rest. Let yourself dream. Let yourself create without pressure. The Queen of Cups energy teaches you that your softness is not weakness. It's your wisdom. You are most magnetic when you are calm, present, and emotionally full. Spirit says that when you pour into yourself this way, your outer world naturally aligns to match your inner peace. People, opportunities, and miracles begin to flow effortlessly because your energy says, I am ready to receive. And Divine Feminine, this is your glow up. You're not chasing your dreams anymore, they're chasing you. You're stepping into your full goddess energy, radiant, intuitive, and deeply connected to your emotions and desires. Spirit says you're meant to live beautifully and freely, without guilt, without rushing, and without dimming your light. The more you honor your joy, your rest, and your pleasure, the higher your frequency rises. Spirit says this chapter is about sacred embodiment, about remembering that your body, your emotions, and your energy are all divine instruments. You don't need to be constantly achieving or proving anything to be worthy of rest and joy. Every time you listen to your intuition, every time you choose peace over pressure, you are honoring your higher self. The Queen of Cups energy is all about presence, being so attuned to your heart that you begin to attract everything meant for you naturally. When you stop rushing, life starts to meet you halfway. This energy also carries a message of deep emotional healing. Spirit says the version of you that once felt unseen or unloved is now being embraced by your higher self. You are learning how to mother yourself, to give the love, patience, and comfort you once sought outside. The more you do this, the more magnetic you become. The Queen of Cups isn't loud about her power. It radiates from her peace. She doesn't have to prove her worth because her energy already speaks it. And Spirit says, this is your arrival. The moment you start treating yourself like the sacred being you are, everything begins to mirror that truth. You'll notice the world responding differently. People showing up with kindness, opportunities flowing easily, love finding you without struggle. This is the power of the goddess frequency. It's alignment, not effort. You are stepping into a life that feels soft yet strong, abundant yet peaceful. Spirit says, you've remembered who you are, now live like it. So take your time with yourself, be patient, be gentle, and love yourself through every phase of this transformation. You are becoming the woman your past self prayed for, the one who feels safe, whole, and deeply loved within her own energy. Spirit says your life is about to reflect the peace you've built inside. This is not just self-care, this is self-worship. The Queen of Cups reminds you, you are the temple, the water, and the light. You are the goddess frequency itself. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. What we've seen here is a reminder that your energy is powerful, your journey is guided, and Spirit is always working in ways you may not fully see yet. Trust that what is meant for you will always find its way, and you don't need to chase. Just allow yourself to stay aligned and open. If you feel called to dive deeper, the exclusive and extended version of our readings are available right now on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we really expand on these messages and explore the layers that Spirit couldn't fit into this space. Also, don't forget to check out the community posts and today's energy reading updates. I love connecting with you there and hearing how these messages meet you in your own journey. Drop your comments below, share your personal requests, and let me know how this reading spoke to you. And if you'd like to keep the energy flowing, I've linked some other videos here that I know will guide and encourage you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.